Okay, hello, how are you? Today I'm gonna demonstrate my newest material tool, and that is Material Mixer for Upbge, for Legacy Upbge 0.25. Okay, so we go. I'm gonna show you Upbge assets, data, common, matmix. Okay, so normally what you would do with this is you would append a mesh and its high poly counterpart. Just for this demonstration I've made a very simple asset to demonstrate the basic functionality of the tool. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is select a category, so that would be one of the folders here in data. We can use common, but common is where we have like the textures and stuff that's like at use throughout the repository. So I've made a new folder here called demo, and we were gonna save the demo. This is where our baked textures will be exported to, will be saved to. So nice. The other thing we can do here is select our size for our baking. I'm gonna keep it low resolution. And we also have here a high poly choice. If we had another object, we could select it here. Say if I duplicate this and say I add some wild things here, Let's say I do some inwards wait, I'm getting confused. There, some inwards thing, right? Something like that, and I give it like off the smooth to something, right? Now I can go over here and say bake from dirt cube point 1, and it will try to do a bake from this one to this one, right? It will give me the normals and ambient occlusion and all of that. We can also do a self-bake, which would basically try and take the normals of the mesh as it is, and the ambient occlusion of the mesh as it is, and bake that. Because I don't have any detail on this, it won't do anything. So yeah, I'm not gonna bother with it right now. So okay, well, let's just do a self-bake just for the sake of it. But we also have the scale parameter here, which allows us to render this bake at a higher size to then scale it down and get anti-aliasing. That's very nice. Let's just bring up the console here and do a high poly bake, which will give us basically nothing, and the textures folder is created automatically, by the way. And as you can see, because we have no detail, we don't really get anything from these bakes. But if you had a more detailed mesh, you would get something. So okay, let's just bake the material IDs. This gives us a duplicate of our object, okay? And here on the panel you can see we have some new options. We can select another mix, which would be another composite material consisting of 4 sub-materials, because we only have 3 materials, we only have 1 composite, okay? And we can select each material. The name should display here, but there's a bug. I'll fix it someday. And we can go to, we can set our mapping. I'm gonna set it to generated, just because. And I'm gonna do some quick editing here, okay? I'm gonna go with generated for all 3 materials and set the scale to a half. We could also do rotation, translation and funky things like that, basically a mapping node, okay? I'm just gonna set it all to the same thing, just for the sake of brevity, okay? Alright, so how do we mix between these materials? How do we get some transition between these, okay? What we can do is go to vertex paint, and the way this works is every color is an ID, okay? So if you look at our original one, we have dirt 0 at slot 0, that's black. Dirt 1 at slot 1, that's blue. Grass at slot slot 3, I was gonna say 2, because I began counting from 0, but that would be green. And then red would just be purple. If I can paint here. There, it's purple. So because this is vertex painting, it depends on the amount of vertices you have, but because we have cloned our original mesh, what we can do is just subdivide this. Okay, we can subdivide it a bunch of times, and then we can just paint to our heart's content. So alright, I'm gonna show you a little bit. Let's paint some grass here on the sides, and you can see here it gives us some nice transition here from the grass to the dirt, right? That's very nice. So let's do a little bit of painting of that. Okay, good. All right. We can have we can affect the tolerance here, as you can see. We can do it for the dirt, and it cuts off the transition there. Well, I'm not really a fan of it. It needs some more work done on it, but for now it's okay. We can also do a mixing of multiple materials. So for instance, if I have, let's say, green on one and blue on, say, 7.5, we get a mix between the dirt, the blue material, and the grass. If we take this to 0, what we will do is we will mix with the black, right? If you have an ID to 1, then you will mix with that. If you have no ID up to 1, then you will be mixing with the base material, which will be the one at the bottom. So let's do a little bit of this over here, maybe. No, that's too bright. Okay, yeah, that's more like it. I like that. Okay, let's do a little bit of that. Okay. So alright, you get you sort of get the idea, right? You can mix materials with this. Alright, you can do things like this and things like this, right? Like funky stuff. I'm just gonna leave it at this because maybe I can do a little bit of that's actually that looks better. So yeah, let's try something like yeah. Don't you like that? Isn't that nice, man? Okay. So yeah. Okay, so that's okay. For a demo, that's okay. So now that we have our mix done, we have to bake it. And the process is fairly straightforward. You select your mix object and you hit bake mix, and it will tell you here on the console, right? And there we go. It will give you another duplicate, which is low resolution because of course I'm keeping the textures fairly small. And you will have this new panel, which is a work in progress, so just ignore it for now. So just select your object, remember that, and hit unify, and it will tell you the process here. Okay, everything good, and we have our bake done. Alright, so we go demo textures dot cube. It will use the name of your object, okay, and it has baked some maps for us, right? The combined albedo, the combined ORM, that's occlusion, roughness, metallic, plus emission. Then we have the combined normal maps, and we have our it's a special kind of curvature map that I sort of invented. Okay, so good. Now we can, let me see here for a minute. Do I have the, no, I don't think I do. Okay, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna do a little trick here. We have a special file here called asset, which you can use to just to get sort of the tool set like already brought in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna append this mesh, this object that I've worked on, the dirt cube. Okay, I'm gonna append this, but I'm gonna delete the materials and create a new one. And here, if I have the light tools materials tool, and I can select the category demo, and here our dirt cube pops up, right? Because it's textures, dirt cube, and here it is. And so we can press init, and let me select it just to make sure, and we can select it, and there it is. Alright, that's good. Let's add some lights so we can see it better. Alright, this is a sun lamp. It does position doesn't matter, it's only directional, right? Yeah. Let's go to only render, right? Let's see it a little bit better. Let's add a point. Oops, not what I meant to do. Okay, and let's play a little bit with the sky color. This is very important. A lot of people don't notice, but it's very important to get the ambient color right, you know. So I like to utilize a sort of a tone of blue, and you can also get a little bit of nice coloration with a little bit of minimum intensity here. I'm gonna give it, okay. Yeah, so that wouldn't be too much, and show me, yeah, not the background, but yes, the mix. You can get some nice coloration with that, but you have to use fairly low values. It's just, you know, like a small touch of color. Alright, and there you go. Let's see it flat. Yeah, I think it's more charming when you put it to flat. Yeah, I think it is more charming when you put it to flat. We have this new addition here, which basically is, you know, you can set the Fresnel to manually to like affect the whole to be like a uniform, or you can set it from the curvatures alpha, which it's basically, well, you know, I'm gonna show you. Basically every single texture has an alpha channel which has some additional data. Here it's, you know, it's just white. It's not much, but if you go to the ORM, you can see, you know, you have some different information on every channel. Normal, I think. Nope, not this one. Not this one. Yeah. Oh, this is also purely white. Well, you know, whatever. Doesn't matter. So anyhow, yeah, this is cool. I like it. So you can utilize this to, I don't know, make assets and stuff. It may be useful, it may be not. We might have to bump the light a little bit here. Yeah. That's neat. So okay. Oh yeah, and yes, when it actually gets good, you deactivate map maps, and then it's actually good, right? That's it. That's that old school look, man. Yeah. That's nice. But you know, just leave this off. Oh, leave it on actually. So yeah, okay, that's about it. Hope you find this useful and all of that. And yeah, thanks for watching.